Well, we're back. Unfortunately, I was just about asleep. Alright, so it is Christmas Day, and we got some wind picking up here. Just got a call. There's 900, a little over 900 people out of power, and it looks like one of our reclosers opened right out of the substation. So what I'm doing right now, I'm just taking a quick look at our map to see which line, where that line goes. First thing we're going to do is go straight to the substation to confirm the recloser is open, and then we're going to actually lock it open so the line doesn't reclose while we're out there patrolling. And while we're out patrolling, if we see this real small tree or a branch laying on the three-phase, something we can handle with a extendo stick or something, we'll knock it off and get permission to close it back in. The reason I'm checking out the line right now is chances are the fault is going to be right on one of the main feeders. So we're on what we call R004 right now. I haven't gone to the substation yet, but I'm pretty sure it is open. And actually, we might have some good news here. Someone actually sent me a text message saying they seen some flashes in the sky in the general direction, or in a general direction from their house. And the only thing in that direction is a three-phase line right outside of the sub, and I have access to it with my truck. And I know the trees there aren't anything too big, so we're gonna head to the substation right now. We're gonna check that open. We're gonna lock it open, let the dispatcher know that we're on site patrolling. I'm gonna give one of the guys across town a call, get them to start heading this way in case we gotta take a permit. If we have a chance, we'll see if we can't get a bit of coverage, but I'm only gonna do that there if we get a chance to get anything covered without interfering with restoration time, then we'll do that. Other than that, I'll let you guys know how we made out. So we'll talk soon. All right, we are at the substation here now. That's what the reclosers are, by the way, that fella right there. But we're just gonna go straight into our switch gear, and using our electronic control panel, we're gonna confirm the position of that recloser and use that to lock it open. So if we have to do any hands-on work at all, then we'll have to actually go to the recloser and open the backup switches so that we have a visual open point. So I'm just looking at our control panel now, which I don't want to show you guys on screen. We come in right here, recloser open right there. We're gonna lock that open. All right, and also we got B phase fault, C phase fault. Pretty straightforward, not complicated stuff. So I'm gonna go into our metering. Oh, sorry, not our metering, our sequence of events. Fault data, 3,600 amps B phase, 3,523 amps C phase. So that is fairly close to the sub. Bumped 1, 2, 3, control lockout. So it's probably on that little stretch of line that I first mentioned on the map. Sorry for you guys having to stare at the floor here, but I don't want to show on camera how to operate these control panels, as sometimes they're out in the field on poles and stuff. So we've got that locked open. We're going to call our dispatch right now and let them know what we found and start our patrol. Here in the woods there. That's the line we're patrolling right up there. And it's starting to rain. Yeah. Right, so we're just double checking some of the feeds on our map here. I think we're actually going to nip this one in the butt pretty quick, hopefully. Whenever you're responding to these outages right from the substation, if you have a control panel that monitors the fault in any way, like I was explaining on B phase and C phase, we had over 3,000 amp fault. There was nothing on ground. That's a huge help for when you're patrolling. Where there's no fault current on the ground, we know, I shouldn't say we know, but we got a pretty good idea that there's not a pole laying on the ground, or at least it tripped out before it hit the ground. Hopefully that's not the case. We're probably going to find a tree just across on the 3-phase, and it was probably going to be field phase and center phase that tripped out first. So if it was a real heavy tree, that would have come all the way down and hit the neutral wire, probably thrown some fault current back up through the neutral, especially if it is as close to the sub as we're anticipating here. So you know, guys, if you have the equipment that provides that information, take a look at it. It's a great help. When you see A, B, C, and ground with 3,000 amps fault current, that's not good. Probably in for a long night. Hopefully this one's going to be fairly quick. So we're only like 50 span from the sub, and things are lining up exactly with what we were getting for a reading. We got that tree. Those are the 2 phases up there. That's your A and B phase, and that's C phase, right down maybe 6 inches from the neutral. So it would have hooked onto that center phase, cross phase, probably burned a couple times, reclosed once or twice. Actually, it reclosed, kicked out 3 times. And now that's all we got left is that little guy there. Great part is, we got that reclosure locked out. We don't got to do any switching. I don't even really need to call for backup in this one. The guys are on another job, just a few minutes away. They're ready to head this way where I have a bigger outage. But we're going to take the telly stick, put the saw blade on the end, give that a quick snip. We're going to knock that tree branch down, and that's it. We're done. So I'm going to walk over. I do have access to that area with my truck. There's a walking path. If I go a mile back, I can get on the walking path with this truck. We're not even going to bother with that. So let's light up the world here. And I'll set up my phone just on the truck. You can see from a distance. It's not going to be anything too crazy.
We're on that trouble call, Danny Street. We're going to have to open up the breakers there. I got a burnt lead. We pulled 49L1 and 49R1. They're mid-span tap and it's arcing there. Pretty bad, actually. Surprised we didn't lose the breaker yet. Yep, 6530P002. You can go ahead and open that and report. Okay, 10-4. That's what I thought too there. I'm going to go ahead and open that 6530P002.
Alright, so we've got permission from our dispatcher. Close the line back in. After removing the tree, we patrolled the rest of the line. It is quite windy out, so there could be another tree come down on that same line quite easily. So what I like to do when closing those ORs, and again guys, I'm not going to be showing you how to operate these things. I go into the metering, instantaneous metering. So we're going to go, camera around, 0 amps, 7,500 volts, A phase, 76 and 7,500 volts. We're going to get ready to close, watch that amperage, A, B, and C. If we see that spike up to something real crazy, still a fault in the line, it should probably hit, I'm going to say 200 amps. Yes, sir, she closed in at 200, now she's settled down to 150 amps average. can see that off balance on the ground. 59. Sorry for the horribly shaky hands. Sometimes with trees, they're not overly conductive like a wire. They're a semiconductor. So it might take a minute for the current to start spiking up through if it's a real dry tree, but we got the problem there. I don't want to say for sure, but keep an eye on that current for a minute or two. I don't know if you noticed in the background, the lights to the building dimmed out when I closed that in. When it picks up, it's picking up 200 amps on the high voltage side. So to get an idea what that would be residentially, times that by 60. Anyways, we're good to go here. The problem we found lined up with exactly what we were expecting, which can get you in a mess sometimes. You're expecting one thing and you troubleshoot according to that, and the problem's actually something completely different. That's where guys get hurt. That's where accidents happen. So while you can assume and use that to help start your troubleshooting process, as long as you're following all your procedures, never let an assumption dictate one of your decisions. Always make sure that you use your procedures and confirm, double, triple check everything. Lights out. Let's lock this building up. I'd like to say we're going home, but we had a couple other calls come through. And looking on our outage map, I see that elsewhere in the province, there's some outages stacking up and the wind's blowing this way, so we're probably gonna get, maybe I'll try to get those calls done, head home and get a quick nap in before I'm out for the next 14 hours. Alright, so we got that one wrapped up pretty quickly, all things considered. Show you guys here real quick. A few have asked about my computer and how I get the calls. Now, it's kind of tricky because there's a lot of stuff I can't be showing online here, but we're gonna slide the camera over, and right here we're looking at my computer screen, and you'll see this here is a list of the calls I have currently on the computer. And these three guys up here where it says routine F, there we go. So these three guys up here where it says routine F, those are what they consider trouble calls. So this guy here, 904 customers. This is the one that we just finished up on actually. So the dispatcher can see my status where I'm arrived. I'm going to change that status to reporting. Now it also keeps track. Let's go back to that screen. Over time here you can see 10:22 p.m. So these two calls come in at 8:47 p.m. and the rest of these guys here, they're all routine jobs. Like I say, I can't get into showing you guys the addresses and stuff, but one's for line guard installation for a crane operator. We've got what's this one here? Please install line guard. Oh, that's another line guard one. Got a couple of lights to install, and customer inquiring about a tree. It's pretty routine stuff. But what I do, I'm not going to complete that because I got to fill out a field report saying what I found, where it was found. It'll take me a few minutes, but basically, let's say I get into one of these other calls. Let's see. So we're going to go into here, and we got. So, started with the wind this evening. Believes it's tranches. I'm guessing that's supposed to be branches hitting the lines. That's a good guess. So that come in at 8 p.m. What else can we see? We'll go up just a little bit in this corner. Right there, that's the call type. Lights blinking off and on. So that call was actually off the same power transformer as this call, which when that tree was laying and it bumped the OR three times. So that would have made their lights go off and on a little bit, especially the call was created pretty well at the same time that this call occurred. But as I said, as we were leaving the switch gear, it's assumptions that can get you into a mess. I could simply roll that call through. Things look pretty obvious as to what it was. But if I get there, if it's an ongoing problem and it starts trashing some customer equipment, it can be a headache for everyone. So, excuse me, I had turkey dinner not too long ago. So we're going to swing by there. It's probably going to be a quick stop. What I'll likely do, take a quick peek at the equipment. If it's new, brand new equipment, I'm not going to go real in depth into looking at things. We're going to talk to the customer, explain what happened. If the problem hasn't occurred since then, I'll tell them basically, if it happens again, call me back right away. I'll come right out. But we're going to do a quick check of the equipment, haul the meter off, make sure there's not a broken lug or something. Just, it's not going to take us long. Unless, of course, it's an ongoing problem if the lights flickered since they called. We'll have to investigate further for sure. So we got another one. That's another flickering lights call. We'll swing by those two places. Probably not going to go over too much footage there. I'm going to try and get in and out there. Well, we're back. Unfortunately, I was just about asleep, and we're called. It's after midnight now, 12:15, and someone reported seeing some arcing up on the lines. So we're just booting the computer back up again. Ready to head back out. I think it's in town, so hopefully it'll be a short drive. Something we can wrap up quick. Try to get some sleep tonight. So it's officially Boxing Day now. Equipment arcing. Fire department received a call. Pole is arcing. So that sounds like a pole fire. Oh man, I hope it's not a pole fire. Weird. This is a brand new subdivision. Alright, so that's a good thing. This is not brand new, but less than 10 years old, so it's not likely that it's actually a pole fire. Pole fires are usually caused from a bad insulator, but this street has there's no porcelain, it's all plastic and epoxylators, new cutouts. So we're gonna hope, even if a tap can't, we'll head down there, see what we got. Alright, so we're here. I know I said it might be 10 years old, the line here, but she's brand new. Still, neighborhood is still under construction. So I stopped at each and every pole. Middle of the night if something's arcing. Usually it's not too hard to figure it out. But we made 2 passes up and down the street. Went by again with the flashlight, and I mean everything's brand spanking new. This line's not even a year old. There's not even any load on any of the transformers, so it's very unlikely that a tap clamp or primary connection be arcing. Definitely no poles on fire. It's kind of a weird street name. It's possible they got it mixed up, but I could be chasing this ghost all night, driving around with streets that sound like this. So there's also no contact information left. It says not sure of address, but on the street received a call of pole arcing. So, but we'll give the dispatcher a quick shout, see if they have any other insight, maybe who called or what's going on. Other than that, go back home, and if there is an issue, I'm sure we'll get a call back pretty quick. It doesn't happen very often, but it does happen. Also nowadays, people can submit calls with their phones. I don't know if it's an app or I've never actually looked into it myself, but there is a way, it's fairly new, that our customers can report an outage on their phone. So there could have been a screw up there. Anyhow, back home, it's almost 1 a.m. Try to catch a few hours sleep. There she comes. And we just got a call. It's Boxing Day now. It's around noon. We got a call. There's wires down on the roads. A lot of that lately. Probably telephone lines or cable. There is no outages associated with it. Could be a neutral wire. Just from my memory, I know it's a single phase line where we're going. So we'll go check that out. We got Christmas dinner at 4 o'clock. So hopefully we're back by then. Okay, so we're here now, guys. Turns out it is neutral. It's on the main line. I did call for backup, the nearest crew. They're about a half hour away, so they'll be here pretty soon. We do have enough downtime. I can give you guys a bit of an explanation as to what we're going to do here. So let's get this camera flipped around. So we're on a main line, single phase. You can see the neutral laying in the bushes there. Tree come down right there. We got the tree laying on the telephone. You can see the neutral wire draped through the trees. It actually broke right at the dead end clamp on the pole right there. So as you seen at the substation earlier, we had A, B, and C phase showing how much current, and then the neutral had the fault current returning to source, the unbalanced current. So there is going to be an unbalance on that neutral, especially where it's a loop feed. So we're going to take an interruption on the line. We're going to take the power out. And once the power's out, what we're actually going to do is install a ground on the primary on either side of the break. So that way, even though the line is out where it's a loop feed, there could be an unbalance from the other side of the normal open, taking the shortest route through this line rather than the feed goes way around this area. So this is a quicker path for the fault current to return to source. The ground on the primary, we're not even going to be going on the primary, so it's not to de-energize the primary. It's so that the fault current can travel up through the ground and use the neutral wire as its path to source, so that everything is at equal potential while we're working. So we talked to dispatch, we talked to the guys. I got maybe like a 10-mile drive down the line. We'll go tag that open switch from that's open, put tag on the pole, come back, dump the line, then we're gonna go up and put some grounds on. A lot of times I'd wait for the guys to get here before I dump the line. This case, they're not gonna be too far behind. Once we get that grounded, we're gonna put, once I get that line open, we're gonna put a ground on either side, as I said. We're gonna knock that tree off. I'll probably set my truck up. Oh, we can get that tree from the ground with the extendo stick. So I'm gonna set my truck up on the one side, put the ground on. When the boys show up, they'll set up at the pole where the neutral broke. They're gonna throw a ground on there. I'll let them with the bigger truck. They're just gonna throw a quick sleeve in it. It'll take them not long at all. And then I'll take the ground off and head back to close the line back in.
Route is not in effect. You can check for potential. If not, protect yourself. That's your ground's blown several times. Go to work. Completely clear.
10-4, you said my work permit 106093 between protection points 8004 SO37 and 8004 SO39. It's been approved now in effect. we can go ahead and check for potential. If not, install nicer ground spawns, go to work and report when clear. All right, so the guys just radioed, they're 20 minutes away. I'm parked, well, there's the tree right there, neutral down. So I'm set up at the next pole. We're gonna go up and put a ground up on that line. I'm not gonna bother rigging up the helmet cam or anything for that. It's pouring rain out. You guys see me do that a million times before. All right, so he's got that neutral wire back up in the air now. See there, he's just getting ready to bond it through. It's all sagged up. There's actually quite a few damage spots in the wire, so we sleeved in about a 30-foot long piece of ACSR. December 26th, and we're down to a t-shirt in the rain. Nice. All right, so we got the tag off our normal open. The crew just called me on the radio. They've got the line closed back in now. Everyone's power's back on again. Not gonna hurt my feelings if we get any more calls, although we are heading to family dinner 2:15, not bad. I've got an hour and 45 minutes to get there. Right on. All right, so that's it for this one. It's been a busy Christmas, New Year's, Boxing Day. Hope you guys all had a great Christmas, and we'll see you next time.